We're gonna work it out right now.
Brothers and sisters, we're joined together today to believe in the power of metal. Metal Church.
Brothers and sisters, sing what destiny has for thee. Your creativity, right there on your TV. Skills for you and me, partake in the glory, Metal Church. Jesse James, Metal Church. Metal Church.
Okay, now that we're down the final stretch on this thing, we spent the whole day with Steve and we got this thing totally symmetrically perfect. But really, for a functional motorcycle, the most important stuff is all the stuff that goes underneath and makes it mount to a frame and makes it hold fuel and makes it not fail, which is like cracking or leaking or anything like that, especially when you ride stuff like I do. I mean, I really ride the hell out of motorcycles. So what I've done is I've traced the bottom of this tank on a piece of chipboard, and then I took 2 inches wide out of the center, and so we come up with 2 pieces for our bottoms. I trimmed about probably 3/8 of an inch, so when we put these things on the bottom of this tank, it'll be inset from the edge. You know, it's basically sitting on that little returned edge like a shelf, and then we'll roll a tunnel and a tunnel will pop right in there. The whole tunnel should be touching the whole top of the frame. That way all your weight of your gas is resting on as much material as possible. So once you fill it full of gas, you know, gas is 7 pounds a gallon, then it's not just hanging off the brackets or the bolts, because that stuff will always break. We need to cut couple pieces out. These can probably be 16 or 18 gauge. The tunnel, and since we'll probably do the mounts off the tunnel, probably needs to be at least 16 gauge. So we'll go ahead and measure that stuff and cut it out now. I'm just gonna cut it out of a piece of scrap. Take these and shear them so it's straight, just real quick.
All these fancy machines in my shop, and I can't find a simple pair of shears, so I gotta do it the hard way.
I have all kinds of wacky tools. When I dislocated my elbow, they were measuring how much I could bend it and like how much I could extend it. Well, the tool they used to measure that, I stole it from the doctor's office, and I've been using it for like 18 years to rake frames because it says the degree on it. Thanks, Doc. So those look pretty good. Only thing left to do now is to start cutting on that front half and see how low we want it to sit on the frame. So I just cut it a little bit at a time till it looks right. But since this frame has a real determined bottom line on this bottom edge, you know, I don't think we want to break away. You know, we want to kind of accentuate that line. I think we want to keep it pretty symmetrical to it, or parallel. It's 2 different angles, but we'll just cut it and see how it looks. I think we'll match the circle template. You haven't even seen my French curves. Spirograph and light bright. I kind of like to do the sheet metal last. That way the sheet metal flows with the lines of the whole bike. I'm pretty good at visualizing what it would look like, and my vision says lower. That looks kind of cool. It has a good shape from the back too. You know, the taper of it and the width. If you're gonna build a chopper, that's the proper style tank. So now that we can probably figure out where we're gonna put the gas cap, because it should be at the top. Yeah, just a little simple screw-on cap with a little unleaded fill stop thing on it, so you can use a modern pump with it. We got a little piece bent up. This is going to be our tunnel. So you can see that's kind of a lot of pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces coming together. So everywhere that there's a little intersection is kind of making a part that doesn't flow too well. So the idea is to trim that up. So we got that tunnel's in there pretty good. We still got a little bit of problems with the gap here, but we can finesse that with the hammer and dolly a little bit before we tack it. Lay these other pieces on here. Damn near a finished gas tank. So we can probably move over and start some welding.
We now have all of our pieces cut to size, and it's starting to look a lot like a gas tank. Now we can move on and do some welding.